We are also keeping a close eye on the situation in North Korea. A new United Nations report details horrific crimes against humanity in that country. The report compares North Korean leaders to the Nazis. News Channel 3 reporter Victoria Sanchez joins us live. And Tori, you spoke with a UCSB professor who knows North Korea from the inside out.
Yes, Professor Mark Juergensmeyer from UCSB. I spoke with him today. He went to North Korea back in the 90s. Now, it was in March the Human Rights Council started investigating widespread violations in North Korea. I spoke with Professor Juergensmeyer about the charges, who has spent time in that country, and a warning: some of the details may be disturbing to some viewers.
Some of the government people were very annoyed that the Americans were there. You can clearly see the tension within the two groups of officials.
It was 1993, and behind this video camera, Professor Mark Juergensmeyer and colleagues arrived in Pyongyang, North Korea. Although the footage is grainy, Juergensmeyer was able to capture images rarely seen.
Do you think much has changed from the 90s to now?
I don't think anything has changed. I don't think anything has changed.
There isn't much of a difference between the images from then to now, or the oppressive government. The United Nations has just released a year-long investigation documenting in gruesome detail the prison camps of the country.
The Commission of Inquiry has unanimously come to the conclusion that there is abundant evidence of great wrongs of this kind.
Sexual abuse, forced abortions, it's horrible. Starvation, prison conditions. There's no question that these are hideous situations, and there's no doubt that they're going on.
Since the UN was not allowed inside North Korea, the International Criminal Court interviewed hundreds of former prisoners and other witnesses. One woman recalled a prison guard forcing a new mother to drown her own child.
With her shaking hands, she picked up the baby, and she put the baby face down in the water.
What the UN has documented is pretty awful.
But the question remains, what can be done to stop the torture, and will the U.S. step in?
To take this on and say, all right, we need to stop these abuses, we have to invade Pyongyang. Well, you know what we're talking about. We're talking about another war. As much as we might hate the excesses of power of Kim Jong-un and rightly feel sympathy for the horrible victims of this autocratic regime, at the moment, we're really powerless to act.
The United Nations cannot force North Korea to change its ways, but they have outlined 19 recommendations. Those include political reforms that would allow free elections, acknowledge the prison camps, which the countries say don't exist, and end all human rights violations.
But it sounds like that's not going to happen.
No.
It doesn't. The UN has very limited power when it comes to North Korea. They couldn't even go in to investigate. The North would not let them in at all. It doesn't look like any of these are going to happen. They are outlined. What the United Nations is looking to do is get international view on this, maybe even pressure from China. But right now, it doesn't look like anything significant will be done to stop this.
Okay. Thank you, Tori.
Thanks, Tori.
Well, one